A lot of us white people don't talk with our very young children about race or racism. And yet we do pretty much right away start teaching them about fairly complex concepts that we tell them they should hold in very high regard when they interact with other people. And I think this lays the groundwork for how they will respond when eventually they are confronted with the concepts of race and racism and have to come up with a response. And so, although Distance and Denial does not exist as a book, if it did, I would claim that one of the very first chapters would be about values. And consequently, what this means is, as white people, we should reflect upon what we value to see if there's any work we need to do there. And so, on to the book. What is familiar is what is good. It's worked so far, hasn't it? Good. What is new is a threat, both to the memory of the good life you've had, as well as the good future you imagine. And so, tip number 1 is that social progress is bad. Progress is just a code word for change, taking us further from our values, further from our roots. Education is, of course, good, but too much is bad. If you have too much, you're out of touch. We will refer to rights and freedom as lofty principles upon which our country was founded for all people. But instead of using these concepts to inspire us to broad, positive change, we will wield those words as weapons in our own interest to control situations that make us uncomfortable. Your children to value patriotism. Then call any challenge to social norms unpatriotic attacks. Raise your children to value respect. Then, when one of them points out something an authority figure did wrong, accuse them of being disrespectful. For example, if your teenage son tells grandma she said something offensive, chastise him for being disrespectful toward the older generation. But also, and look how flexible the respect card is. If your liberal brother redirects your son for saying something offensive, chastise your brother for being disrespectful of your authority, and tell him to go discipline his own child. When asked to be respectful of your fellow citizens in a way you never considered was necessary, claim you're being pressured to follow faddish social rules, whine, and dismiss it as political correctness. At this point, you've got a bit of a choose-your-own adventure. I have a particular interest in our relationship with respect, so I included a special episode called Playing the Respect Card on this playlist. You can check that out. Or you can push forward and keep watching about the White Handbook. Unfortunately, there are more dysfunctional chapters ahead, but all that means is more opportunities to reflect and grow and do better. See you soon.